Hello, my name is Veronica, and this is my Girl Scout Gold Award on We Are Responsible. As the Lorax once said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Let's all join the green side to raise our voice and not the sea level, and to remember that there is no planet B. Humans never think about where our waste goes. We throw things in the garbage and never think twice about where it ends up. Here is our landfill. There are many ways in which we can prevent our waste from taking over our land and polluting our oceans. We are all aware of the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. This is what this entire first video will be based about, because the first letter in responsible is R, which will stand for reduce, reuse, and recycle. So the Reduce, Reuse, and Recycle campaign is surfaced on the first Earth Day, which was April 22nd, 1970. So the first R is for recycle, as we all know. Many people are confused about how to recycle and what to recycle. Recycling is done differently all across the globe. In order to know how your area recycles, you can either look it up on the internet or you can contact your local trash pickup service, because, as it says, it's different in every area because every area does different things. So this is how my area does it. Here in California, we can also take items to recycling plants such as specific aluminum, glass, and plastic bottles for cash. The other things that recycling plants take are cardboard, and they can compost stuff. They also take microwaves and refrigerators, and for fridges, when I went to tour my local landfill in Tracy, they actually have this company come in and they take the Freon out of the fridges, and once those cartridges are emptied, then the fridge is able to be shipped off to recycled. They also recycle mattresses, which are shipped off around the globe, and they do things like tires and newspapers. Obviously, there's detergents, there's soft plastics, hard plastics, magazines and newspapers are recycled, etc. So in my high school, I'm currently taking a class called product design, and in product design we get to pick a pathway, and I decided to choose fashion because that is what I really enjoy. And our final project for the class is this eco-friendly or environmentally friendly fashion show where we have to make a recycled outfit that will be on display on our fashion show. That is actually next month, and I'll take videos and I'll show it to you guys. And we then model it either ourselves or we can have a friend that will model it. For mine, I'm doing 2 actually. One, I went to a bunch of thrift shops and I took old dresses that were like homecoming ones that are sparkly, and I'm taking the parts that I like and I'm combining them into one dress that's my own design. And then another dress that I plan on doing is a kind of trash bag dress with either electric tape or duct tape, and both of them will be environmentally friendly. They both are either reused or they're waste. The challenge is to use all recycled materials for the project to make the outfits, and so far I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I can show you guys later. E-waste is another big issue we are facing, and these dangerous products should never be put into our landfills. Many companies such as Apple mine these products for rare materials and recycle as much as they can. When you purchase a new mattress or appliance, most companies will haul away your old one to recycle it. Do not forget that you could take the light bulbs also to hardware stores such as Home Depot. They usually have them at the door, and you put it into a bag and then this bin so that it's safe, and then they can ship it off so that the materials can be recycled. Batteries are also recyclable, and make sure that you properly dispose any hazardous materials, because you don't want to set something on fire or cause harm to somebody. You can also, if you go to a local automobile place, you can recycle things such as oils they will take in. And basically, if you just go into any of your local shops and any local businesses and ask them what they recycle and that, and they will tell you. The second R is for reduce. We can reduce our waste by requesting to be taken off of mailing lists so we get less junk mail, by using more bulk items in which there is less packaging, making community fridges. So when you're done eating something, you would put it in the fridge, and then somebody else's leftover, or sorry, your leftovers would be somebody else's meal, so that way you're not wasting the food that you don't eat. There's also something that my community does called Little Mountain House Libraries, and basically it's a community library, and they're all around the town, and you basically go in, you take whatever books you would like, and then you would return them when you are done instead of like buying your own. There's also places like San Francisco and a lot of colleges such as UCLA and UC San Diego that have this bike borrowing system where you can like rent a bike for a little bit, and this helps limit pollution. You can also make reusable bags for your produce and groceries, so when you go shopping, in my product design class, we're actually currently making our own reusable bags, and we're tie-dyeing them, and I can show them to you when we are done. Either that, or you can like buy one from a grocery store or a craft store, or look one up how to make your own, and it will save a lot of waste because you're not using all that plastic to carry your groceries out. You can also there's also some shops such as like, or grocery stores such as like Walmart and Target, where they have reusable bags. You just have to buy them, and you can actually use those bags about 100 times. They say it on the bottom, and the ones like Walmart, you're able to wash them, so if something sticky is on them, you can use it again. You just have to wash it. You can also reduce your global footprint by shopping at farmers markets, since the food is locally grown and produced. Instead of having something that's like shipped from China or Australia, you're having something that's locally grown. Plus, it tastes a lot better because it wasn't frozen or anything. Reuse is the last of the three R's. Some people also refer to this as like repurposing or upcycling. This is when you take an object and you can use it in another way than it was originally purposed, or you can transform it into a better version of itself. Artists for centuries have turned many of man's trash into beautiful treasures. Since natural resources and availability of antique items are either rare or scarce, people are scrambling to snap up these items. Community libraries and refrigerators are great new examples of this trend. Consignment and thrift stores such as Goodwill and Salvation Army are a great treasure box for sparking the imagination and also to save a dollar. My environmental club, which I founded at my high school, and I'm also the president of, we used old Christmas cards and worksheets that people donated to us and that we collected from our houses to transform unwanted paper into holiday cheer for active soldiers. There's also a band in South America that makes recycled instruments. They basically live on a landfill and they've never seen a real instrument before, so people took the initiative to take some of the waste that they live on and to make them into beautiful instruments. Old Crocs, sneakers, tires, and jeans are also used for playground material, and old jeans can also be turned into things such as insulation for your house. Companies such as H&M have also taken the initiative to attempt to close loopholes with the environment. H&M has realized that the fashion industry is the consumer world's biggest polluter. They started a new environmental sustainability project in 2013 that all fashion enterprises should participate in. H&M makes an implicit argument of when it comes to clothes, we can be quite wasteful. There are a lot of cases in which women only wear garments one time because they refuse to be seen wearing the same outfit for a multitude of occasions. We also tend to just throw out garments when they are ripped, stained, missing its pair, or missing a button, etc., when instead these garments can be utilized once more. H&M makes an article and a short video for the campaign, and both explicitly shows what happens after you donate your garments you no longer want or wear, and then shows the multitude of ways the company utilizes these donated garments. They use them for cloths, new dresses, new jeans, stuffing in cars. They even take the fibers that come off and they compact it into cardboard. H&M found a way in which they could implement being environmentally sustainable with their line of business, which is fashion. They decided to attempt to take on closing the loop of textiles by getting people to donate garments to them. Most companies waste a lot, and H&M is one of the few that noticed this as well as did something about this. They chose to go down this path when they saw the insanely large amount of clothes that are being thrown away, in which they could have been reused in some way. They are embarking on a path in which many aren't willing to actually go down, but what could end up being the next big step in the fashion world. They are pioneering through a new breaking point that could become popular in the near future in both the fashion world and the rest of the world. This project could potentially branch out into other sectors of the world and into other branches of society. Being environmentally sustainable can be implemented into pretty much every field of study. Medical devices, materials, etc. can be reused or recycled, while keeping in sanitation rules and health codes of conduct. Books can be printed on 100% composted recycled paper, with ink also being reused and recycled, or it can also be printed on soy ink. There's decomposition books that can be found in UC San Diego, where you can buy, and they're made from 100% post-consumer recycled pages, and they're on soy-based ink. Environmentally sustainable clothes can also branch out into things as furniture, rugs, pet clothing, bags, shoes, tents, etc. Pretty much anything that has fabric. Nearly every piece of fabric is able to be recycled. Every company in some way can implement environmental sustainability into their products, their work areas, everything. To reduce our carbon footprint, some resourceful people have converted their cars so that they use vegetable frying oil after restaurants are finished with it. We could try implementing this into more cars so that there will be less cars that are using things such as like gasoline and diesel, and more of these cars that are using up stuff that's being just thrown out into waste and is really harmful for the environment. My product design class also utilizes garments from thrift stores as fabric for our sewing projects. My teacher goes out and she buys a bunch of different types of fabrics for us, and then we rip them up and we make them into the projects that we want. There are also many instructional videos on how to transform various products. I have included some of my favorites in the link below. We should all do our part to help empty our landfills and strive for as many zero waste as possible. One book that I would recommend is Zero Waste Home by B. Johnson. So, Zero Waste Home by B. Johnson is basically this book where she shows how to simplify your life by reducing waste. And she has recipes, she has different ways of how she was able herself to get her own house to go down to zero waste, and how they continue to live it. She has stuff for dishwashers, like dishwasher detergent, laundry detergent. You can make that stuff instead of buying it. You can also make ranch dressing. You can make your own makeup and stuff. You can use things and household items, and it will be better for yourself, your family, as well as the environment. You can also take it steps further. She shows you how to take steps further, and by doing there's energy, water, and time. So I can read you an example. You can use power strips on your equipment to eliminate phantom energy consumption. You can set your computer to energy saver mode when you're not really using it. You can empty leftover drinking water into your plant instead of dumping it down the sink. You can also, when running errands and making deliveries, plan your route to maximize right-hand turns. She also goes through like different holidays and what she can do and her experiences. You can do zero waste gift wrapping, and she has a 5 R's checklist for like holidays and gifts. There's refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot. So you can compost like Easter eggshells in your pumpkin, like the insides of the pumpkin. You can reject Halloween trinkets when trick-or-treating so that you're not intaking all of that garbage and that waste. And there's much more. I really recommend that you actually go through and read this. It's a really good book. So I know I moved around that. I wanted to show you guys my dress, but so this is basically the bottom half so far, and this is one dress, and then this is another, and then under it is actually fabric remnants that I got, as well as the undergarments of another dress. And basically you can get fabric remnants instead of having them waste them. Joann Fabric sells them, and they're usually about less than a yard, or they tend to be like half a yard or a yard, but they're less than a yard, and they can be useful. I actually have another fabric remnant that's got butterflies, and I'm going to try making a pillowcase. But yeah, this is basically a few different dresses I got from a thrift stores that I've sewn together to make the bottom of one. Also, I was able to tour some colleges on one of my breaks, and when I was going around UCLA, they actually had a recycling bin and trash bins that said that their goal was to have zero waste by 2020, and they labeled like what to put into each of their bins. Um, I looked a lot around for environmental stuff while I was on my trip. There's also one of the hotels that I stayed at, the 4 Point Sheraton. You can make green choices in them. You can, if you want to participate in it, they actually have a reward system if you participate in their green choice system. And you can also, if you choose not to do it, then there's another signal in which you can do. While I was on my trip, I also got to see the solar water-powered desalination plant that's in Carlsbad. They basically take water from the beach, which is similar to my freshman project, and they channel the water into making actual electricity, like power for houses. And I know one of the years they did it that they've had an overabundance in the amount of energy that they've received from this project. There's also certain cars and other appliances that you can get that are more environmentally friendly. I know the Tesla is a very environmentally friendly car if you were looking for one, or ones that I know Ford does some that are more environmentally friendly, like they will shut off the engine when you're stopping or when you're commuting, so as to conserve gas and energy. You can also use biodegradable containers. I know the San Francisco Premium Outlet Mall, a lot of their containers are biodegradable. They say it on there. Also, when I went to WISE, which is Washington Youth Summit on the Environment, which was a highly selective environmental forum, and I went to represent my area, the cafe and the areas we ate at, all of the stuff was biodegradable. It said it so on the cup, and I thought that was very cool. Also, going back to Joann's, while I was looking around near the fabric remnants, there's also a company that does sell all thread that's 100% recycled polyester. They're Guterman, I believe that's what it's called, and they show on the back the amount of energy and waste that they saved and all the water that they saved because they reuse thread instead of making new ones. You can also do there's certain makeup brands that are more environmentally friendly than others, or they're pretty much environmentally friendly. One is Love, Beauty, and Planet, and I just saw this in a magazine, and they package their stuff in bottles that are made from 100% recycled plastics. Excuse me. Also, when I did my makeup test, which I can show you guys later, Lancome oil lipsticks, the lip oils, they're actually environmentally friendly. They also reduce waste because you're using the sponge prevents you from using an excessive amount of the product, and it also stands longer than all of the other makeup products that I use from the multitude of different companies. A lot of malls, such as the San Francisco Premium Outlet Mall, some of their bathrooms have 30% less potable water than the standard buildings, so they recycle some of the water and they put it back into the bathrooms instead of taking more water out. That's especially common in California. A lot of the sprinkler systems in California are recycled water because we do not have an excessive amount of water. It's also better that we do it this way because we aren't wasting more resources. And I think that everyone should implement this, even if they have a lot of water, because there's a maximum amount of resources, and one day we will reach that, and it's not something that we're going to want to reach, so we should prevent it from doing so. Also, when going around Target, they actually had this special Lorax book, and it was an earth-friendly one that they printed on only recycled paper. It's part of the Lorax project. If you want to know more information, you can look that up. Also, if you have to buy like stuff for picnics and like picnic utensils and stuff like that, there's other companies that you can use besides the standardized ones that are more environmentally friendly. There's one that I found in Winco that's called Repurpose, and their products are all from plants. They're Also, while I was researching stuff for my school, because my club is starting the first school garden, um, I flipped one of the breakfast trays when I got breakfast over, and it said recycle symbol 6. So I was interested in what that meant, and I looked it up, and it actually stands for PS, which is polystyrene. And polystyrene can lead to potential toxins into foods, and it's also very hard to recycle. Only some curbside programs take them and actually recycle them, and that number is actually decreasing as the years go on. So going back to talking about the company and Winco called Repurpose, 100% of their products were repurposed from plants and are BPA free. It's a small price to pay to the environment when it's extremely beneficial, and we wouldn't want to let cost stand in the way of the health of our planet. So you can spend that extra dime or that extra penny to get products that are biodegradable or that are more environmentally sustainable or like repurposed and recycled, instead of just buying plastics that will eventually harm the planet. So when I was doing a lot of my research, I saw that a lot of places said that we should all compost our waste because it's more beneficial than putting it in the trash. So if you're wondering what some things were that are able to be composted, it would be fruit scraps, vegetable scraps, coffee grinds, eggshells, grants and plant clippings, dry leaves, finely chopped wood and bark chips, shredded newspaper, straw, sorry, sawdust from untreated wood, etc. You have to have a balance of green material and brown material, and I know for some compost, you have to make sure that it's slightly watered and that you turn it, because compost, once it's left alone, I found this out when I went to the Tracy landfill, it can actually get up to 200 degrees and it will set on fire. And this has happened before, which is why they told me, because I asked them about composting, because I started some compost when the local Jamba Juice and Starbucks, they donated coffee grinds and like vegetable scraps from their smoothies and that to my club, and we've started doing compost to get ready for our garden, which we're starting really, really soon. There's also ways we can recycle the stuff that we do use in our school. A lot of some schools use trays and plates and that aren't reusable, but they're like styrofoam. And instead of throwing that out away, if they're not going to change to more environmentally friendly brands such as Repurpose, then they can instead make piles and have the art programs use that, because I noticed in my product design class while we were painting jewelry, we used the exact same trays, but they're brand new. And I was thinking we could instead reuse the ones that people have used for their bunch and just wipe them off because they don't really get messy and they're just thrown away looking pretty much brand new. There are more ways of recycling and using things, as well as reducing our waste than what we want to admit, as well as can actually commit to. One item like an old shirt you no longer like to wear anymore can be recycled or reused and utilized for a multitude of other items. Like they can be shredded to be used as stuffing for car seats, they can be used for insulation, they can be made into another garment, they can be ripped to fibers and then put and made into thread. The dust that comes off of it can also be compressed into cardboard. There's many other ways that they can reuse it. We also can reduce our waste by doing things such as using reusable containers, taking reusable shopping bags with us, wearing stuff more than one time, turning the lights off when we are not in the room, turning the water off when we are not using it, etc. Just because we are in America and we believe we have the right and the freedom to whatever we hold, doesn't mean that the earth has the abilities to meet our ever-growing demands. We have stressed the earth and her resources beyond natural capacity. How much more can the planet, which sustains our life and protects us from the harsh treatments of space, such as radiation, UV rays, lack of oxygen, take from us? How far must we beat up the planet to understand the delicacy of life? There will be a point where the earth will rebel and no longer be able to provide for us. What will we do then? People are already frantic about this question, contemplating colonizing other planets like the moon and Mars. Why go through all of that and waste more materials when we can attempt to fix the mistakes we have made and actually clean our rooms? Humans tend to run away when a problem gets too out of hand. Well, what will we do when there are no more planets to colonize? We cannot keep running from our problems. We must pull up our big kid pants and accept the harsh reality in which we have created and now must endure. There is no more hiding, no more running, no more pretending there is no problem. We must take action. That is the only way we can ensure that we at least somehow make this world a better place, like what it was before the Industrial Revolution. Take action, inform, educate, and inspire the next generation to get their hands dirty. We cannot know if there is or is not a problem if the generation that is supposed to prepare us for handling the world attempts to hide the mistakes and flaws in which they have created and made worse. As some may say, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. Many of us take the shortcut out of benefiting the environment just because of the cost of getting an item that is environmentally friendly or even lack in interest, as in they do not care if they actually benefit the environment. People like this need to have their eyes opened and they need to see the effects of their thinking and their actions. When I went to R.E.S.P.O.N.S.I.B.L.E 2017, which is Washington Youth Summit on the Environment, as a delegate, we had Mustafa Ali, which was a previous major EPA worker, come in and give us a speech. He stated that all of our voices are powerful and that any action that we take towards bettering the environment is better than no action at all. And he was right. We may not think that by throwing a bottle in the recycling bin or picking up a piece of trash actually does anything, but in the long run, it does. When we do something to better the environment, it has a butterfly effect. When you pick up a piece of trash on the side of a road, there is one less bottle that can end up in the ocean and end up in another country on the other side of the world, such as Nicaragua. The director of food services at my school district values cheap products over those that are beneficial to our environment. The director believes that it states on the bottom of our styrofoam breakfast trays of recycle number 6 that is her help in her piece in helping the environment. However, recycle number 6 has polystyrene, which can lead potential toxins into foods and can also be really hard to recycle, as only some curbside programs take them in, and this number is ever diminishing. When I was walking around my local Winco, I found a company called Repurpose, which produces napkins, cups, silverware, plates, etc. All of their items are 100% repurposed from plants. They are BPA-free, chlorine-free, reusable, compostable, they're durable, eco-insulated, They have 3 to 4 times less carbon dioxide, and their global footprint is much smaller. They also have soy-based inks, etc. The list goes on and on. We only have to pay a small price in order to have a major effect. So why is this so hard for others? It benefits the planet, then we should dive head into heels into it. Our planet is the reason for us being alive, and it's the reason that we are living to this day. Can we not reciprocate to the hand that has fed us and sustained our lives? Can we not keep our planet sustainable so our race can continue to survive and flourish? Or have we become in such a society where it's only about yourself? It would be a mighty shame if our planet died off along with us, because we cannot live without the thing that has sustained our life. But sometimes the only way to actually help the environment would be for when the human race has completely gone extinct. We are the one that have created all of the problems that the environment is facing, and sometimes we will have to make the ultimate sacrifice. I guess we will have to face the inevitable because we have caused our own pain. A lot of big name companies such as Apple and Starbucks and other ones have also began to put their foot into the world of environmental sustainability. Pretty much everything of Starbucks is recyclable. You can actually recycle your Starbucks cups if, if you the white ones, the standardized ones, you can recycle them because they are. It even says on the cup that they're recyclable. They're also 10% of it is made from previous post-consumer materials. So instead of throwing them in the trash, please recycle them. Also, if you're sitting in Starbucks, with a friend or you're just hanging there, you can ask for a cup in the store, and they will give you a porcelain cup instead of one of their to-go cups. So you'll be reducing the waste by using a sustainably cup instead of the other ones. There's also we can also make sure that we are using appliances that are more environmentally sustainable and that will reduce our waste rather than the cheapest option, as I've said before. There are we can use the hand sensing, the toilets, hand dryers, soap, and water faucets instead of regular ones, so that when it doesn't sense anything is near it, it won't actually run and it will have a timer. There's also lights that you can use that have timers on them. They'll go off in a certain amount of period, whatever you decide to put. You can also get, there's, I know my lawnmower, it's a Greenworks mower, I believe, and you recharge the battery instead of using gasoline to run it, so it's environmentally friendly. Also, by installing solar panels into your house or using any other form of renewable energy will reduce your waste and consumption of other things like electricity. So thank you for watching my videos. I hope you subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. Thank you.